Welcome to the CULTivate podcast, your soon-to-be #1 podcast. I'm your host, SwirlyWirley. Second to Mr. LameOCal and
Mr. LameOCal here.
The BeBop, the Ninja Ginger, my buddy.
And the only British.
The British man. So, boys, how was your day?
Pretty good. Got my stream in.
Even there.
Now it's just chill time. Let's podcast away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had a long day at work, you know. Living the dream.
I wouldn't know.
Bebop's like, well, I woke up, I got some breakfast, and then I jumped directly on Rust and built a massive base. Woo!
Played it for like 17 hours straight, waiting for the podcast.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, God. He was like plotting and planning all day, like, I'm going to be like Alex Trebek.
Fucking Trebek.
Yeah. So, today in history.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we're going to get into history. Not too much exciting happened today in history. In 1962, full U.S. Cuba embargo is announced following the Cuban Missile Crisis and all that shit going on. And then also 1904, the Great Baltimore Fire begins, which devastated like half the city of Baltimore, even more.
That's
man, and images from that, you know what I mean, are just super scary.
Yeah, yikes. Well,
especially 1904 with their technology and stuff. You know, a lot of it was just like buckets of water, and you're just passing it. They're like, "Closest water, let's get the buckets." You know what I mean? Like there was like very little when it comes to that kind of stuff. So,
well, you know, something that I always like wondered was like, what do like firefighters do in a big city? Like, if you have a skyscraper fire, like, just watch.
Dude, they're going up. Dude, they're going up. Well, and see, a lot of those buildings, skyscrapers, have water pipes built into them, so they have water access in certain like floors and stuff. So it's not like they're carrying a hose up to like 97 floors. They just go up there, they open up the valves and stuff. But still, they got to get up in there. You know what I mean? And if there's a fire in a building, they can't use elevators. It's stairs the whole way.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if they're?
Because you think about like the World Trade Centers when that happened. You know, those guys were just, you know, flight of stairs going up. You know, that's pretty nuts to think about.
But what if the fire was where the hose was? How would they put it out then?
They would just go down to the floor below or to the nearest one and then run like 150, feet of.
See, over here in the UK and stuff, we don't have things like that. We don't have like hoses on each floor, like valves on each floor. If we had a skyscraper and it went up in flames, that's it. It's coming down.
That's what I mean. I just tossed it up to. Well, we'll just build a new one. I think it's safe to say that I don't want that job. But
the thing is in New York, codes are so much more strict than it is in like, you know what I mean, in these areas.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's why, it's not as prevalent with skyscrapers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you, Jesse. I think yesterday, your history from yesterday was cooler.
Like Queen Elizabeth with King Harry VI passing.
No. What did you say about wasn't it the electric car, the first electric car?
No. So that was just something I was watching on YouTube. I was watching Jay Leno's Garage, and he had a 1904 Baker electric car. It looked like a horse-drawn buggy, but didn't have horses, and it had 12 6-volt batteries in it, and it was an electric car in 1904, and there was 15,000 of these things sold. And in New York City alone, they had charging stations like you would like a Tesla, which I thought like 1904, you know what I mean? And the reason they believe it didn't really kick off is because like they were decorated more for like a female and stuff like that, for groceries and stuff. But it had seats across from each other, it had a tiller, just a bar, and then you had your acceleration, and it only went like 25 miles an hour. But still, you could get a 100-mile charge, 100 miles off of one charge. In 1904. In 1904, yep. And I have an original ad for the electric Baker coupe. That's what they call it.
It's like some Back to the Future type stuff.
Whoa. It is.
Yeah, and it's really cool. So the ad reads, Just what the public demand is a stylish yet conservative car, a genuine automobile, not so it's just like not an electric driven coach, but it's just like, man, can you
Yeah,
imagine?
yeah.
I thought it was like Fred Flintstones back then, using your feet
Yeah,
to
no
move a car.
kidding. Like, and see that, but you know what? That's like we like to think we live in a time of like technological like advancements. You know what I mean? But like, if you think about it,
Futuristic.
man, like we built upon what was founded, way before our time. We were really, gosh, it's just amazing to think that.
Well, and then
Like,
the
we're
thing is
outdated.
like the car just, you know what I mean? It just drops off, and then after that, you don't see any kind of electric. Baker really like pushed that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And
but Jay
what
Leno
you're really
has one,
saying-
and his is I think in 1909, if I'm not mistaken. But he takes his out with his wife to go like see Christmas lights and stuff like that because it's like a perfect car. It just goes 24 miles an hour, and he has the original charge station for it. He doesn't use it because he upgraded the batteries because it had Edison battery system in it, which was like a little wooden crate that was just batteries in sequence. But he's upgraded it to like modern day batteries, but still everything's electric on it. The lights are electric on it. Everything, even like the little lights on the inside of the dash.
You know what's like amazing though? It's all like we live in a world, and it doesn't matter today, yesterday, 100 years ago, whatever. We live in a world of like supply and demand, and like if that well, it's happening today. Like look at Elon Musk. I mean, he's doing it, and now like the demand for electric cars is so huge. He's a billionaire. I mean,
well, I mean, look,
successful.
Ford's releasing theirs.
Yeah.
There's all these companies. A Hummer, they got the electric Hummer now. You know what I mean? So it's taken off. But the thing is like we've had the technology 100 years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and it's nuts that 15,000 units of that car was sold. You know what I mean? And that's a lot. And that's like a lot. Majority of them was in the New York area and stuff like that. But that just blows my mind because like when you think about electric cars, like, oh, that's modern stuff. No, we had this technology 100 years ago.
Yeah.
100-mile range. That's a lot for New York City. You know what I mean? When you're going only a couple city blocks or so.
Well, I'm interested to see like so Bebop, like is the electric wave is that going on in like the UK and stuff? Like is it as big as what it is?
Like in my town centre is small, so I couldn't really vouch for that. But in London, you probably see a lot of it.
Yeah.
But there's only a few places here, like over there. I've noticed like every like supermarket you go to, every parking station you go to, you've always got an electric station there to charge like a Tesla and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So almost
over here.
Over here,
here,
talking about
it's
us.
like
okay,
one or two.
okay.
Yeah. So over in the US, it's like that. But
Okay,
over here,
yeah,
you've
yeah.
got one or two in my city. And
Okay.
if you don't live around that area, you're traveling like so far to charge your car to then travel all the way back if you can't do it at home or if you're too far away from home.
Well,
So
it's that
the
way here
electric
though.
over here is not that.
It's that way here. If you live in a pretty heavily populated area, you do have the access to like the Tesla charge stations. But there are a lot of areas, and I've seen this over and over again, where I have to drive X amount of miles to charge my Tesla, which is like, at that point, why would you buy a Tesla? I mean, I know it's cool to have one, but
Tesla's a couple hundred miles on it. You know what I mean? So I mean, you're probably within a charging station at one point. You know what I mean? If you get like a couple hundred miles charge on it.
yeah.
Oh,
but,
you'll probably see in like a few years' time, like 10, 20 years' time, there'll be a charging station like every mile down the road or something.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, all right, I
understand. They get 370 miles per charge. The newer ones do. So I mean, you're within a charge station with 370 miles. You know what I mean? It's not like
right.
I mean, unless you're like out in the middle of like Arizona or some shit like that. But I mean, even then, even look at us. My sheets right outside my house has one. You know what I mean? And the other sheets. You know what I mean? So, and I was up in Smoking Dam, which I think is like a really like
rural, right?
Rural area. And there's sheets
charging.
So I mean,
are your charging stations like you've got a big parking lot? But you've only got 2 charging stations.
No, ours is within a gas station. So we have like maybe 8 parking spots, and there's like 4 Tesla chargers. Like boom, boom, boom.
So it's basically the same here then. Like we got a big supermarket and there's 2 stations.
I mean, I don't want to get too hung up on it, but at what point, like, does it? Okay, I get maybe in our area you could get by with it, but at what point? So you have a 300-mile radius, but at what point does that become like, all right, I'm wasting time? At what point am I not really being like, environmentally friendly because I have to drive out of my way to get, to charge my Tesla? Is kind of what I'm getting at.
But I mean, it's clean energy. Even if you have to drive out of your way, you know what I mean? You're not emitting any kind of.
But you are though. Tires are, that's if you're blowing through.
But
tires,
like
maybe.
you're thinking in the aspect that you're traveling 150 miles for a Tesla charger. That's not the, you know what I mean? Like even in rural Pennsylvania, you can get one right at Sheetz. So it's not like, you know what I mean? And if you're taking trips with your car, you're going, if you're taking long trips, you're usually going somewhere that's populated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Well, how long would it take to charge a Tesla?
I think it's. I want to say it's like an hour, charge 100%. But in 30 minutes, you can.
And 30 minutes. I think it's like 70%.
Yeah, it's like 70%, but then it jumps to like an hour for 100%. So I don't know, like if they have like, because I know it's called the supercharger, so I'm wondering if like it supercharges to 70%, but to get to 100%, you have to like the
Tesla supercharging stations. 40 minutes to charge to 80%, 75 minutes to charge to 100%.
Okay.
See, I'm all for green energy and stuff like that, and environmental health and stuff. But I'd rather pull up to a gas station, take 30 seconds to fill up my tank, and drive away.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I mean, to be honest with you, like I love the look of Teslas.
But the thing is also they got the Tesla charging pad too. You know what I mean? Where you just pull over top of it, so you don't have to worry about getting out, plugging. You know what I mean? So you just.
It's Elon Musk. He'll probably come out with a solar panel next, put on top of your car.
Well, he does.
He does.
He had a roof that was really cool. It looked like terracotta shingles, and you get your whole roof done in it. It was all so your roof was a roof. It looked like terracotta, but they were. So he has some stuff like that, but
okay. So
modern day America doesn't want to.
Well, no, it's not even that. So I watched the Joe Rogan podcast, and Elon was actually talking about because this was he had him on when the Cybertruck came out, and the Cybertruck has an option to get a solar panel on it's like a cover for the bed or something like that. But he was actually talking about when the Teslas first came out, the roof was a solar panel. But they didn't generate enough power to offset the cost of adding it to the car. And if you guys know Elon, he is all about cost efficient ways of becoming a cleaner world. Yeah. So I mean, I just don't think it didn't make sense from a dollar per.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about just a solar panel that size, you're not going to get much of a, power output from it. That's why, when you see like a elementary school, like they got a huge area with solar panels just to power it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not really efficient. They're efficient in some sorts, but so I saw this. I think it was in like Popular Mechanics or something, but it was a road tile. It's glass and it looks like a stop sign. Like the shape of a stop sign. And it was a solar panel. And your whole road would be made out of these glass panels. And so your roads were basically that. And they also had heaters on them too. So if you're in a snowy area, they would heat up. But they were into the grid. So your roads were solar panels. They charged, into the grid. They put power into the grid. And then if an animal or something would step up on them, they would illuminate, because it's with under a certain amount of poundage. They would illuminate so you could see the tiles. I mean, that's been in the works for a while, but if you could do something like that, turn your whole road into solar panels, it's a lot more efficient than turning a field into solar panels.
I mean, that's a genius idea, though.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. When I was watching it, I was like, man, why isn't there billionaires tossing money at this? And if they go bad, they're modular. You just pull that tile out and you put a new tile in. You know what I mean? So but people don't want to waste their money on that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, that's. Well,
you know what I mean? Because if you look at recycling and stuff like that, there's even counties in my area that don't want to recycle because their counties don't want to put up the money for. You know what I mean? It's healthy to do for the environment, but it's a lot of money because anything that's safe for an environment is a lot of money.
Well, I could be wrong about this, but I heard it costs more to recycle than it actually yields in return.
Yeah, because a lot of the plastics that we use when they get broken down and stuff like that, they can't use them for water bottles and stuff like that because it's contaminated. So they got to use them for other things like light switch covers and stuff like that. So That's the reason that it costs a lot to. I mean, glass is valuable because glass isn't, But when you get to the glass and metal, that's okay. But when you get to plastics, people don't want plastics,
Yeah, I get it.
Some of it's toxic and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah. So
especially water bottles, you want to have BP free and stuff. So
yeah. So Jesse, you were just talking about like new internet yesterday. You're like, God, I can't wait till I can get new internet.
Bro, I can't wait to get new internet. I'm working on this,
Yeah. Well, I had read that that Elon Musk. I mean, we all knew that he was working on
his Starlink.
The Starlink, the futuristic, internet.
Yeah.
But apparently, he's saying it's the future of high speed internet, which, I mean, we all kind of.
Dude, what 1 gig down, 1 gig up? Well, he was talking about
he's saying
10 gigs up.
No, he's saying three times the fastest current.
Yeah. Hold on, who's this?
Elon Musk, Starlink.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what the timeline is for that, but
I mean, there's still. What is it? They got to put like 4,000 or 5,000 satellites into the sky or something like that, and I think they're at like 1,500 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I forget what the upload and download was, but it was like insane.
Yeah, I want to say it was 3 times the fastest current offered internet speed. So
as of January 2020, SpaceX has deployed 242 satellites and plans to deploy 60 more per the Falcon 9 launch. In total, will be nearly 12,000 satellites will be deployed by mid-2020.
Wow. So
who knows that's gonna happen though? That like they say you're gonna achieve 3 times the upload, 3 times the download when it's not even been done to achieve it.
But the thing is like he has the capabilities to do it, but you're talking about like worldwide. You know what I mean?
Well, okay.
Concerns have been raised about the long-term damage of space junk resulting in placing thousands. See, these satellites though, once they run their 5-year term, are supposed to re-enter into Earth's atmosphere, and they're small enough that they burn up before they even make any impact.
Right. So, all right, Bebop, I'll kind of explain this because when I had my new internet set up, my home actually, what they do is they throttle your internet. So the connection coming into your house can be like overbearing. So you could actually sign up for like 1 gig, and you could be receiving like 2 gig of bandwidth coming in. And they actually throttle it down so that the technician that comes out and sets up your stuff will actually do a test. He's got this meter that plugs into the coaxial coming into your home, or fiber, whatever. It's still coaxial, I think, for fiber. But he runs it through this meter, and it's like a metered connection. And if you're getting a higher bandwidth than what you're paying for, they throttle it. So it is obtainable. Easily obtainable, especially because I think what he was saying he was going to do is you're going to purchase some type of like small satellite that will go in your house on your home, and that's how he keeps latency down. So you're not.
But you're talking thousands if you're going to do something like that.
So it says the company is promising high speed up to 1 gigabyte per second.
Wow. No, you're not talking thousands because you're just talking the cost of like a television satellite, which is not that much, maybe like probably $200-300.
But it's a panel. It goes right in your house. It's flat, and he said it's mobile. So, like, let's say he said you go away for holiday, you can take it and plug it into your car, and this panel makes your car an internet hotspot. You know what I mean? He said you could take it anywhere. It's just a big enough panel you can hang on your wall. He said, I think like a foot by foot or like a foot and a half. It's super thin, and that's all you need.
When knowing him, it'll be stylistic, you know?
Yeah, it'd be stylistic, and
So.
But how would you know
it'll be stainless steel.
Probably. What were you saying?
But yeah, I mean, I would love for internet like that.
I was saying, like, how would you know? Like, he says you can achieve this and stuff like that. You hang this panel, you can take this panel with you, and you'll still get the same speed. How did he come up with the idea to achieve that?
Because I mean, he has scientists like saying that, like, you know, if I have internet, because like it's just like anything, you know what I mean? Like a lot of other companies use satellites and stuff like that, but he's making his a satellite array.
Yeah.
So that even if you're in the middle of freaking, Africa, you can get internet.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but let's be
That could
fair.
have
I
been
mean,
achieved years ago.
But Bebop, you're talking about a guy that's creating tunnels in Los Angeles, like tiered tunnels that like will create faster transportation, and it's like a hover train or something like that. It uses like magnets and stuff.
maglev.
Yeah, maglev, and you're talking about a guy that's like a car that drives itself, the first of its kind. Like, I mean, pretty much anything he says he could do, he probably can do.
Where you see videos of people sleeping in their Teslas, like on the highway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no kidding.
But wouldn't that be more dangerous? Like, just thinking about it, wouldn't that be more dangerous? Because what if something fails? Like, what if he says he's making tunnels, he's making this maglev for cars to go through tunnels? What if there's an accident in the tunnel?
But the thing is he has so many scientists working for him. It's not like he's sitting there making it. You know what I mean? He's he's the brain behind it, and you got scientists. So there's going to be lots of trial, testing and stuff like that before he just slaps an unfinished product down. And it's like, here, I'm ready to kill 1,000 people.
I get that, but I understand he's doing it because of the highway traffic, and there's always traffic and standbys everywhere. So he's doing it to free up that. But say if someone had an accident on the highway.
Yeah.
You can get people out there to that accident to sort things out. What if there was an accident? Just what if there was an accident in that tunnel? You couldn't do nothing about it.
I don't think it's possible. If you know the force generated when two magnets repel, and you're talking about super magnets, that these scientists, they know the life expectancy of a magnet, and I'm sure they'll be changed out far before that life expectancy. So you're talking about.
Well, wait, Bebop, are you thinking about like just like an automated car, or because like I think we're talking about what the maglev train, the maglev subway. Or
I'm talking about the tunnels that he's building for. Because I remember watching a video of him taking people down a tunnel in a Tesla, driving down a tunnel.
But this is the mass transportation though. Like I don't think
he's
end
talking about
result was. Yeah.
Because I think we're getting mixed up here. We're talking about like cars that are self-automated, and you see people sleeping, and you're talking about maglev.
Well, I think what he's saying is he saw the video of the tunnels when they first like rolled out. They were taking Teslas through it, but that wasn't. I'm pretty sure that the tunnels are mass transportation. They're train systems. I don't think you can actually like drive your Tesla down there like end result. I think that was more or less like a tour that they were showing you what he was coming up with. Like, I don't think that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I do know that there's going to be mass transportation. They may have some type of like you pay a toll and you could take your Tesla through it. I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Well, I'm just thinking.
You can nap your Tesla through it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if there was just any sort of accident, how could you attend to that?
Well, I mean, just like we have tunnels here in Pennsylvania, like for the interstate and stuff like that. They have emergency services at each tunnel. It's not like there's no emergency services nearby. Each tunnel, like when you go through Blue Mountain and stuff like that, each one has like emergency services. So if there's an accident in there, boom, they have people there.
Because what I saw, it was just a tunnel where the car just barely fit down the tunnel.
Yeah, that was them like making the tunnel for the maglev train, I think it was.
Yeah, I'm not knowledge on all that. I haven't looked all that.
No, that's why we're having a conversation about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
no kidding. Well, I think we've definitely talked a lot about technology and
Elon Musk.
We're all like, I love Elon Musk. I love what he's doing.
I get excited. You know what I mean? Too. So it's just like when I start talking about it, I'm like, I'm always reading stuff about it.
But I'm gonna spice it up a little bit and bring a little drama into the mix.
Let's get on to it.
Let's get it on. Oh, you know what? That actually fits the topic. So, let's get it on. I know,
right? So let's get it on.
Yeah.
Fight.
Yep.
So what do you got? What do you got for the boards there, Blake?
YouTuber fights. So what do you think? You think this Antonio Brown Logan Paul fight's gonna happen?
See, I'm a Logan Paul hater.
Oh God, this should be good, boys. Because I actually like Logan Paul. So
me too.
Yeah, he's just a high level of douchery.
Okay, all right, but
I mean, sometimes it feels like it's an act. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know, but
so
yeah, but I mean, it just feels. I mean, I did see the video where that chick spit on him, and he kept it clean.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was gonna
why
say.
did you do that? You know what I mean? Like, if he could be like that all the time, I think I'd have a little bit more respect.
I see where you're going with that, because he had someone spit on his car, and look how he reacted to that.
But
completely
Look,
different.
though,
it was like a chimpanzee that got zapped in the ass.
So I've been watching him pretty regularly, and he's actually said, like, all this time I thought I had to be somebody I was not to obtain views. And I mean, you put on facade and you're successful at it, making a massive amount of money. Do you blame the guy? But he's like, nope. I've actually found out that being myself, I get more viewers. So I think the Logan Paul you're seeing is actually like the real Logan Paul.
I hope so, because I like the newer Logan Paul. You know what I mean? Like,
mad cool.
I like the newer Logan Paul. Just
my views.
My
views on Logan Paul is, I don't like who he is as a person, but I love the content he makes.
Okay.
He makes it's so unique and it's so different to other YouTubers that it doesn't matter how you act, doesn't matter how you react to people, doesn't matter how you speak to people, how you speak to your fans, how you treat your fans. It's still amazing content, and you'll still come back for that content. That's what I love about Logan Paul.
Well, I'm really gonna spice it up. Did you see my intro, Logan Paul? The soon-to-be #1 podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Hey, I love Impulsive.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'd like the Impulsive podcast. Like, I do like that. You know what I mean?
Coming for that #1 spot, though. Hey, I'm a competitor, man. I want that #1 spot. So,
So let's get to the fight. So Antonio Brown, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
You got some KSI drama in there, because there's always KSI in there. You know what I mean?
Jake and KSI are gonna get it on.
I wonder. Just hope KSI smacks the shit out of Jake, because he's a little cocky son of a bitch. Like,
not gonna happen though. Not gonna.
Yeah, because he's so. If you look at the last fight, he was wilding, dude. Like, KSI was just wide swinging. You know what I mean? Like, he couldn't.
Yeah.
We call that windmilling.
Yeah, windmill. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kind of like that backyard fights that we were watching. But like,
my God.
Those guys were just like,
what the heck is the name of that? Oh my gosh.
Oh, I saw it. I was watching it. You put it.
Yeah.
Street beef.
Dude, we were dying. Street beef. Yeah, street beef.
Dude, oh my God, I love street beef.
They're like a dog kennel with plywood on the side, just beating the hell out of each other.
Dude, so white trash. I'm not even gonna lie. And dude, did you see like the construction lights like dangling from the trees and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they had an 80-year-old woman recording. She was like,
yeah.
She had like one teardrop tattoo below her eye.
You got like mullet, like bearded mullets in the background drinking Coors.
But I gotta tell you, it's entertainment, because those guys went in there and they gave it their best. You know what I mean? They fought like they were like in $1 million ring. Some of them
they
did.
go to the drop,
like that mullet guy, like he would just wake him up, bro.
Not gonna lie, that was a fun day, dude. We were dying.
Yeah, we were dying. We were like, man, this is so good.
Yeah. Honestly, hey, props to the guy that had that business plan, because he's
been doing it for years. Look at his YouTube numbers. You know what I mean? Like, he's above 1 million subscribers. Hell, I have an art channel. I can't even get above 30.
And honestly, it seems like he's the gang violence and stuff is he's trying to hey, put the guns away. That's his slogan, like, put the guns away.
Put the guns away and fight in the ring. You know what I mean? And
that's
your fists are your weapons.
We saw a couple where they came out. Like, there was a little bit of
animosity.
Well, not animosity, but like humility. You know what I mean? Like when they came out of the ring afterwards. So I mean,
I get it. Yeah.
So speaking about that, I was watching. I think it was a Vice documentary about what was it, Detroit. The gangs, instead of killing each other, they got paintball guns and they would just roll up and paintball each other.
Yeah.
So like they were trying to figure out a way to end gun violence, because their gang's getting killed and their gang's getting killed. Yeah. That now it's become a game. They roll up with like paintball, they pop out, that's what I mean.
Joining a gang, man.
Yeah, exactly. But like,
isn't that a bad thing?
Yeah. Well, no, not if I can have paintball wars all the time.
Yeah, so like, and he was like, yeah, he's like, we got into it, man. Start souping them up and stuff like that. You know, we roll up, we hit them, and he's like, then the next day we're waiting for them to roll up and start hitting us.
Yeah, it almost becomes a game, and then like you're like at the end of it, these.
Well, and then they're having like cookouts together and shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
well, so that's what. All right, so we're we're humankind. I mean,
well, excuse me.
We're. It doesn't matter if you wear red, you wear whatever color gang. You know what I mean? Come on. At the end of the day, like all right,
we all bleed red.
Yeah,
we all bleed red.
That's right. And at the end of the
Color's
day,
a color.
Yeah. Well, hey. Well, that's the point. That's the point. Different colored gangs, and then we all bleed red, bro. We all bleed one color.
Yeah. Yep.
Technically, your blood is blue, though.
Well, yeah, but as soon as you get introduced to oxygen,
you just blew my mind.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
You didn't know that? Yeah.
No.
Once it's oxygenated, it turns red.
Yeah, that's why when you bleed, it turns red. But if you look at your veins, you got blue veins and stuff like that.
Would you ever wonder, why's my veins blue?
So the blue veins are returning back to your lungs to get oxygenated, and then the red is going out to your body to give it oxygen. But as soon as it hits oxygen, it turns red.
Yep.
That just made me feel like an alien.
Yo, he is mind blown.
Yeah,
he is mind blown. Yeah. Oh, hey, Jesse, you know the picture that I removed?
Oh my God! You removed that picture.
It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. Guys,
okay, so back to the fight. So, what are your predictions, Blake?
So I mean, well, before we get to predictions, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna get a little off key here. Antonio Brown was an ex-Steeler. You're a Steelers fan, so who do you root for? Because you can't like Antonio Brown. You just openly said you didn't like the old Logan Paul. So Jesse, you're the best.
I'm going Antonio Brown for the fight.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah, I'm going Antonio Brown for the fight.
We're gonna have to get a cultivated podcast bet going because I'm going Logan Paul.
I'm going Logan Paul.
All right.
I'll put $100 on Antonio.
$100? Let's.
$100. I have $100 on there.
Hey, shake on it. Shake on it. No,
I don't know how.
All right, we shook on it.
Can I do a $10 one?
Maybe some rust skins will be fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, but no, I think I don't. Well, there's an obvious size disadvantage. Antonio Brown's a lot smaller, so even not knowing either of them.
But I think he's just gonna dump money into a trainer, though. You know what I mean? Like, he's an athlete to begin with, so he'll be able to pick up. That's true. He does.
Apparently,
he got friends.
Look at KSI and Logan Paul when they fought. There was a big size difference there.
Yeah, but okay, all right. So let's be fair. Logan Paul fought like a boxer. KSI fought like a wild child. Not saying, I mean, KSI, he claims that he boxes professionally, but at the end of the day, he got the win. That's what he wanted to obtain. So I'm not hating on the guy, but
you can train all that time and you get into the ring and you're just in the moment, you're scared, you know what I mean? Adrenaline's going, so you're just going at, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, you can have all the training in the world, but I mean, if you're not, because it's not something they do all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why he was in there just like swinging and stuff like that, because
yeah. I think so. And then Jake and KSI, that's gonna happen. I would think Logan is the better fighter between Jake and Logan. I would say if they fought each other,
I'd say Jake's better.
Really? Okay, so we're at a disadvantage there because I think Logan's the better fighter. I just think he kind of like got caught up in the moment, like Jesse said.
I think Logan is a better thrower, but Jake is more strategic with his stance, his style, and the way he fights, which is more like a pro boxer.
More composed, apparently. I mean, and that's where I think the difference is. I'm going Jake over KSI.
Yeah, me too.
So, Jesse.
And that's me going against the UK. Sorry, UK viewers.
Wait, you mean like for the fight? It's going to be a tough. You mean talk about the Keemstar? Not. Sorry, I was just thinking of the Keemstar for some reason. That's because J Station wants to fight Keemstar. So that's just what made me think
I
of
heard
that.
that. I heard that.
Yeah, because Keemstar was doing a hashtag cancel J Station. So J Station's like, let's fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but back to the KSI fight. I'm probably gonna go with the Paul. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
so we're all on the same page there. I think you have to. I mean, the difference in the
if
Logan.
he doesn't get his shit tight, you know what I mean, and try to keep his mind controlled, you know, KSI's gonna lose.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the other fight. You know, it was unfortunate that he got double tapped. You know what I mean? He got hit while he was down and stuff like that, and then you know got points. You know,
so and you got to almost think that KSI in the back of his mind, he's got to be thinking, okay, the style that I brought to the Logan KSI fight is not going to work against Jake, because Jake just proven that the wild child boxing style is not going to work against him. He's composed and he's just going to pick you to pieces. I mean, first round, you know, technical knockout. And realistically, Gib was a similar fighter to KSI. I think KSI is definitely the better fighter, but
yeah, I definitely think KSI is a little bit better fighter than Gib. But I mean, that was quick.
Jake didn't even break a sweat, really.
Yeah, he was just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. I mean,
and he said as well that he was saying that one tap to the nose and his nose is going to bleed, so it's going to look bad. Yeah. But that's because he gets his nose cauterized all the time, because he has a bad nose. So he didn't really get hit in that fight. He got tapped in the nose.
Yeah.
So if I got punched in the nose, I'm down, man.
He was so composed.
He was just out there.
Yeah.
Think of it this way. As a YouTuber / boxer, because he came from YouTube and he's not actually a quote unquote pro boxer.
Yeah.
The fight stance and the way he fought against Gib. Yes, again, Gib's not a pro boxer, but Jake looked like a pro boxer, fought like a pro boxer.
Yeah.
I think if he put the time and effort into that, he could actually become a pro boxer. Like I can't say the same for Logan Paul.
You know what I mean? You go into it with that mindset too, you know.
Because look at Logan Paul when he fought KSI. He didn't even swing. He's saying he was ill. He never swung his right arm. Was it right arm? I can't remember.
Well,
but when he did,
time, yeah.
The one time he did, KSI went down.
Yeah.
So you can't really say that Logan's a bad fight. You can't really say he's a good fight because he didn't show it.
It's just
but if I was in that KSI fight, I wouldn't have admitted I was sick or anything. I've been like, you know, just like, because like it feels kind of like a scapegoat thing. I would have been just like, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let the viewers come to that assumption. Because we all knew something was wrong.
Yeah, don't be like in the thing, you know, like I didn't win because I'm sick. Like it just felt like weird. But like, I wouldn't have said anything. I was like, you know, we did our best. You know.
Yeah. On a positive note, I like the new Logan Paul, man.
Me too.
I think
if he keeps that cool-headedness to himself and stuff like that, I might come around to it. You know.
I think he's realized what he was doing. Again, back to what I was saying, he makes good content.
So forced.
Was a douche.
Oh, come on!
You can't really do that. I tried to blow that away, but...
What? Jesse went there.
I think he's come to the terms of he knows what he's doing wrong, and his viewers can see.
Yeah.
If it carries on like that, he's not going to get far. So he's changing his ways, and I like it. Like what he's doing now is 10 times better than what he was doing before Suicide Forest. You know.
Yeah.
And you know that whole situation, I think you can chalk that up to he needed a PR team or like somebody with a backbone to say, you know, because obviously, what is he, 23 now? So when was that? Maybe like around 21, 20s, I would say, because that was quite a while ago. He's still young.
Yeah, but like you can't put an age on being stupid. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's 21 and he's over here like, look at this dead body hanging here, like.
Yeah.
Bro, like.
Well, there was a dark time like where he was going to like other countries and like almost.
Well, that's because he was trying to fish. I think he was getting desperate. You know what I mean? He was like trying to fish for those views.
He was looking for the content.
But well, like, if you're just yourself, you know what I mean? If you're just yourself and do what you like, even if, you know, you don't get as much viewers and you're doing what you like and not trying to fish for it, because that can make anybody turn. You know what I mean? Like, just thinking about the numbers and thinking about all that stuff, you know?
Saying that, I really think that's what has affected all three of us to some extent. Maybe almost.
See, yeah. years ago I
trying
got out
too
of that
hard.
mentality. Like I don't look at like my numbers on Instagram anymore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I like even when I'm streaming, I don't care if there's like one person in there talking to me. I'm fine with it. You know.
Yeah.
But I couldn't say that 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Like I just
No.
get angry during stream. You know, like I got like 3 people. What the hell? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's people doing nothing, eating peanut butter on stream, and they're getting like 800 views. You know,
Well, that's the problem, and it's not so much because this is realistically for I think all three of us. It's a passion, but you can get caught up in the moment, especially when you're going on Twitch or YouTube and you're seeing people that are, and not to knock anybody's platform, but when you know your self-worth, like I feel like I'm producing good quality content versus something that you watch and it's like, what am I doing wrong?
A couple of years ago, I was looking at a Twitch stream. The guy had a jar of peanut butter out and it had 83 viewers. A fucking jar of peanut butter. And I'm over here, like, trying to make
sculpting his butt
stuff.
off, like.
Yeah, sculpting my ass off and making, like, art and stuff. And that hit me hard. But recently, like, in the past couple of years, it's just like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm doing what I like. I don't care if people, chime in or not, and just doing what I do.
Yeah, you just got.
That just made me think of that kid. I can't remember his name, but he done a Twitch stream where he sat for 72 hours straight without saying a word, just staring at the camera. Look at the views he got just looking at a camera.
Oh yeah, Zool, one of my like good streamer friends and stuff that I met through streaming. He posted this guy that was sleeping on a couch and had 800 viewers. He was shirtless, sleeping on the couch, 800 viewers, and I was like,
it's mind-blowing. It's shocking.
Like, do I need to be shirtless sleeping on a couch?
Dude, Jesse,
and like, people were donating money to him. You know what I mean?
Viewers if you go shirtless on a couch.
I know, just
yeah. Look at that keg.
No, but I mean, I think the numbers to everybody, even people as high as like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, even some of the other popular people that we see that are on top of the platform, numbers hits them. You know what I mean? Like.
Yep.
You'll do anything for content, you know what I mean? And you'll put caution in the wind. Suicide Force might have happened because of that, because you're trying to push for views, and stuff like that. And you're just not thinking of that stuff. You know what I mean?
That's why
the way I looked at it before was, sorry to cut you off, but it was like when I was doing it back then, when I was streaming every day, and I was like, oh, I got 3 viewers, that's good. Next day I have 1, like, and it disheartens you.
Oh, but really bad.
But then you have people out there like Logan Paul who's getting millions of views every day. You can make that same content as Logan Paul if you put in that time and effort and you put your heart and soul into it, but it's just getting noticed. Like you can be just as good as Logan Paul, but it's just not your time to be there because of Logan Paul. Logan Paul's at the top.
Oh yeah, I mean, it all comes down to chance too. You know what I mean? Like, you could have a viral moment instantly like that, and then it sets you off. You know what I mean? Or if you're, anything could happen. Honestly.
Yep. Hey, I have always been a super competitive person, so.
We know.
I think that.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, guys. Have a good podcast. Hey, guys. No, but I think that's the mentality you have to have, though. The biggest.
You have to be super competitive, but you gotta have some humility at the same time too. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. But you just can't let shit get to you. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing what you like and you keep on doing it, and only if you get a couple of viewers, eventually, over time, it builds up. You know what I mean? You just got to do the grind. You got to do the time.
Yep.
It's one thing that Blake said to me that always stuck to me. And it's the first time, I don't know why, but it's the first time I ever heard it. And he told it me, I think it was last year. And the words were, Rome wasn't built in a day. And those words stuck to me. And I think that, honestly, is what made me change my views on things into...
Freaking young Socrates over here, baby. Let's go.
I know.
Like, just stop.
Bro, I feel enlightened. My ass is gonna start floating out of this chair. No, but and honestly, it's true. Rome wasn't built in a day. Anything wasn't built in a day. You know what I mean? Look how much the grind that the Paul brothers had to do to get to where they are.
Not
anybody.
At all.
Well.
They blew up in like a day. Like
they blew up, but you had to put so much effort into keeping that up. You know what I mean? Like
not taking away the hard work that they did.
You had to. I think the hardest thing that I will give those two is the content that they make. They make it better the next day, and I don't know how they do it, but every single day it gets better and better and better.
Yeah, no kidding.
That feels like David Dobrik's vlogs. Like every time you watch it, you're just like, what?
Like how?
What? Like
how are you gonna top it in the next video? You know, and they somehow do.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I hear that. Well,
that's
boys,
lifestyle, though.
I mean, we've had a pretty interesting conversations here, and
that we have
pretty cool topics. Can't wait to move on to the second podcast, talk about some cooler things. Hey, speaking of one-upping, we have to one-up this. So every week, get a little kinkier.
Every week.
Get a little more interesting. So, yeah.
Sounds good. Make sure you guys go check out. Yeah, make sure you guys go check out our Twitch channel, because we do a pre-podcast where we talk about stuff and chill and get some ideas and stuff. We'll post the handle and the links down below.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, and then you'll see my links down below for my Twitch, Instagram, and so on and so on. Same way with BeBopBrit.
Yep. And by the way, series of unfortunate events and led to Bebop's little area down below is blank. There is not a blown up head with a small face, red head. I promise Bebop. I don't know what you're talking about. But next time you'll be blessed. There's nothing there. It's just a blank. There's nothing there. It's nothing there. Just don't worry.
Who's editing this video?
It's definitely
who is editing this video? So this was my first and very last podcast, guys. I'd just like to let you know that.
No, okay. This is gonna. This is. Hey, we're setting an example. This is cult, okay? We're cult, and this is we're setting an example. I bet you won't forget to turn on your webcam.
Not the Kool-Aid drinking kind of cult, but.
Do you know what rhymes with cult?
Bolt.
And it's all yours, Blake.
Oh, he said fault. I said bolt. I was like, whoa. Things are getting weird here.
Okay. So,
no, but yeah, all applicable links will be down below. We'll have some links to some of our stories, especially like, talking about the Baker Electric, if you want to read it some more into it and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Bebop, anything for the greater good?
Don't forget about the Discord. We have a Discord too. You can.
Oh yes, we do have a Discord that you just chat with. We're gonna have different sections, gaming and all kinds of shit. So
suggestions, ideas, whatever you want to put in there.
Yep. Well, that's gonna wrap up the CULTivate podcast, your soon-to-be #1 podcast. We are taking over that impulsive spot soon to come. Hey, I'm setting realistic.
Optimism is key, bro.
Hey,
Optimism is key.
Realistic goals, man. Yeah, exactly. I'm staying optimistic. But thanks for tuning in to the CULTivate podcast, your soon-to-be #1 podcast. Hopefully tomorrow, a Just Chat on Twitch, where we can toss together some new ideas for podcast #2. We're keeping this train moving.
Gotta keep it rolling. See you guys later. Peace out. Till next time.
That's right.
Later.
Next time. Yo, Jesse, hold on. Let's restart this.
I'm going to get some food.
Let's restart this, okay? I was like, Bebop gonna be on 3 o'clock. We're gonna shoot this podcast, okay? We're gonna shoot this podcast. I'm all like happy and shit. And then Jesse, you hit me up. You're like, let's do this. I'm in my stream. And then you said, what do you say I did? I don't. I think you're lying. What do you came into what?
I popped into the Discord chat that you had going Bebop. I was watching him raid, and then you were just like, and then I was like,
did it sound like that, or was it a little better?
No, it might have been. It might have been a little bit more Alicia Keys added to that.
Okay, I'll take that.
So then I was like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And then nobody answered me, and Blake's like, and Bebop's over here like, "Koosh, koosh, koosh," with rockets.
Dude,
like,
that was his background music, man. He's putting that up on YouTube with me singing, bro. People are gonna be hitting me up for brand deals, man. I'm gonna be like,
we got Fergie over here,
dude. Yo,
the Rockets were going goosh, goosh. The Rockets were going.
Yeah, the Rockets are going. Oh, hey.
Hey, Bebop's like, I think I'm gonna throw up.